Got it.
All right, we got the mustache man with the strawberry jams here. Jerry feels good, and we're gonna get started. He's gonna tell us a little bit about how he first got started with music.
What's good? Music. It's just kind of been my whole life. Um, Man, we're really doing an interview right now. Let's get it.
Yeah,
Sorry. Um, yeah, music, my whole life. Grew up in it. Not like an overly musical family, but from school to church to like my parents were kind of the parents that would like put you in everything just to get you to dabble and just as a young person see what's good. But my sisters would always be singing. My mother was like I guess a church lady of sorts. And then my pops was always into the like he's always been in bands his whole life. He's still in a band. He's like 50, 60, I don't know. But just music. And then like hip hop came around. And then I was like, oh, DJs. Even though I didn't really know much about DJing, I was just like, oh, hip hop. And so I bought like um I guess I first started DJing in 1999. So
yeah,
that was like middle school, and I just kept doing it. I was like, oh, there's money involved with this. So I've been making money since I was young doing it. I'm 37 now, so I've been DJing since 1999. Obviously, you can still get better each year. You're progressing. Because when I first started, like was not ideal DJing, but we were young middle schoolers. Everybody was just excited to like dance and all that. I don't know. I put in quotations, but the young people, high school, all that. So I mean, just kind of grew up in it, but like not overly. But like when your dad's in a band his whole life, whether it's church or the bar, clubs, it's like, oh, I want to be a rock and roll guy like my dad. But I didn't really get into the bands because DJing came around, and I was like, with DJing, you kind of cut out a lot of the members because like it's cheaper. You
yeah.
can
You
just
can just perform yourself, and you don't have to worry so much about everyone
yeah,
else's time commitments and stuff, and you can just set your own stuff up.
right. So just the DJing thing. I mean, but I do music production, and that's the real like sauce. That's the real like passion. People, DJing's like I learned from it, and it's my economical like job. It gets me from the next level. But like even learning all these different genres throughout the years, it helps you learn how to produce and just it helps you with the DJing. It's a one in one, you know.
Hmm.
So they're hand in hand. They like help you learn both ways because you're like, okay, this genre does this. Let's see how I can make this and you know incorporate what I'm making into what the consumer likes for that area. So yeah, just music, music, music. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
I go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, did you grow up in Charleston, or did you like kind of gravitate towards that music scene?
I grew up in South Carolina, the Carolina Georgia border,
Mhm.
and it was in Aiken, South Carolina, Augusta, Georgia. They're right next to each other. The hometown of James Brown. I'm the hottest thing about the town since James Brown. You know what I'm saying? Don't just let that be known.
Let that be known.
No, that's like a freestyle bar I've had forever. It's like I'm the hottest thing about it, my town since James Brown. But I never have put that on the record anyway. But it's a little bar.
Yeah, I like it. No, and DJing, kind of like you said, gives you an opportunity, like for the music production side of things, to see what people really get going to. Like you're at the club or you're out at a party. It kind of gives you like this unfiltered approach to see what people enjoy and kind of approach it that way.
Yeah, it's a lot of learning. We when I was starting to blow up in the DJ scene, my first bar club gig was like an 18 and up night. So that brought all the other young heads in. And we were really not like great DJs as far as like no beat matching, but I was around the era when That Sick and Skrillex and dubstep was becoming like prominent in USA, and just the whole like robot fucking music. It's obnoxious. But we were playing that. Me and my homie Johnny Say So, we'd play that. That was our first like us becoming like bar club DJs. Because we before that it's like when you're young, you're doing proms, you're doing birthday parties, weddings, all those things. But once we got into that, it just that's like I like doing like proper shows. Like I do everything, but like the bar clubs is like where we're at mostly.
There's some great spots in Charleston for that with Deco, and you got,
Yeah.
you know, Share House, all that over there.
Yeah,
Where's-
so I moved here. My fault. I wouldn't even answer your question. So Charleston, like through the years, as we grew in the bar club scene, I was always wanting to be by the beach. So I was DJing from Aiken, Augusta, Charlotte, Charleston, Atlanta, just kind of going around, and just maybe here and there another little town. But yeah, Charleston. I saw that Charleston had room to grow. I guess I've been here for maybe 10 years. I don't know. I've been saying that for so long. I don't even. The reason I don't have a pinpoint because I started just like I would have a living place in Aiken or Augusta, and then I would just like do like East Bay delivery or Papa John's delivery, and I'd drive to Charleston and I'd work these jobs, and then I'd DJ or just like to get my name out there. So I was doing. I didn't really have a time frame where I was like, I moved in on this date because I was doing a lot of couch surfing, sleeping in the car, just meeting people, growing my brand. The whole Jerry Feels Good in Charleston, and now I've reached that goal. And I walk down King Street, people scream my name. I'm not even exaggerating. It's cool though because it's like you look back at we put these goals when like even if it's not like written down or it's like oh I want to do this, so you just strive for it. But then I've kind of hit that oh my branding is not like unknown. So Charleston is blessing me, but not now. I'm like I've done everything I can do in Charleston, even though there's a new restaurant, new bar club, hidden gym, etc., and all these different areas that pop up every. I mean, did you stay in Charleston for a while or what?
Yeah, like 4 months.
Okay, so Charleston is growing pretty rapidly, like any great city, I guess, that's moving. But it used to be a small little hidden gym, I guess, a while back. But now they like in magazines, they're always saying Charleston's the best place to live in USA type stuff. I don't know a magazine, but Charleston gets the award all the time. I don't know
Yeah.
if you see it, but I'm just like, all right. But
I mean, I
moved
loved it when I was there.
I moved to Charleston because like the beach and everything worked out because I finally found a spot which was on Strawberry Lane, which where I'm currently located. But I started I'm just jumping around a lot, but I just moved to Charleston and it worked out. It worked out between like hustle, prayer, hard work, trial, tribulation. But Charleston's fucking booming right now.
Yeah, it's a good time out there. Is that what kind of brought out the strawberry jams? Was moving to Strawberry Lane, or was that before?
Well, it's like it's kind of a destiny thing that happens because I started when I was living in Florida, Orlando, Florida for a bit when I was going to school. Um, I used to so my government name is Justin Red. My last name is Red, and I was trying to find like I would always say if I have ever like a child, like a female daughter, I would name her Strawberry. It's like Strawberry Red, but it also sounds like a stripper name, so I don't know how well. But it's like, but then my homie they would all go out. Are you going out with us? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna stay here and work on music. This is back in Orlando when we were going to school. I don't know, that's 2015 ish. I can't maybe 2018. I really don't know my timeline that well. But he would say, "Oh, you're gonna hang out with Strawberry." He's talking about my computer making beats. And so fast forward, I was going through trying to find a branding. This was around the MySpace era. And this is when Facebook was still just a collegiate platform where it's just for college kids. And anyways, we landed on the label branding called the Strawberry Entree. Fast forward like years later, I end up in Charleston and I meet DJ United, Wade Walker, and Curry Sauce, John Curry, through like I actually was like trying to figure out some stuff and I was like praying and I was like, God, I need like a plug. There's this bar, it's not around anymore, but it's a infamous bar kind of is called Boone's Bar. And I walk in there, I'm like, man, I'm trying to get this connect so I get some gigs. And lo and behold, there's this guy that like is Wade. He comes and sits down right next to me, and he's the biggest plug to the city. Wade has the keys to the city. And it's funny, he still books me to this day because he's like, as we all level up, sometimes when you're DJing, you're just like, you're still DJing, but then you like, you do all the bar club gigs and you're too young for that anymore. So you, or too old for that. So you move up to like booking other people, promotions, et cetera, et cetera. But Wade and his company that he works with, his basically his uncle and his dad, it's called Other Brother. And anyways, I sat down next to that guy when I was still like the new kid on the block in Charleston trying to get my name. He sits right next to me and I'm like, hey, I know you don't know who I am, but like, blah, blah, blah. We became best friends, went back to his house. Then I met his roommate was John Curry. It's Curry Sauce. He's a phenomenal music producer, DJ. But they all moved. They were living in Cool Blow. There's a whole gang of them. And then they moved to Strawberry Lane, which is like maybe 3 minutes down the street. And it was like a more up and coming area. And now we live on Strawberry Lane for 5+ years. It used to be like 10+ DJs that would be here. We used to throw after party bangers.
Wow.
You know, everybody grows up and moves away and has kids and all that. But there's still like 5 of us on the lane, Strawberry Lane. So it's like destiny.